welcome again to another yoga class. This is going to be a nice gentle restorative yin class, maybe only about 45 minutes. It's a nice one to be able to do before you go to bed at night, which will guarantee you a lovely night's sleep. It's also a great practice after you've done some quite, heavy exercise, because it's going to be really good at just lengthening through the hamstrings, lengthening through the quads, the hip flexors, all those areas that if you're doing running or cycling or kettlebells or whatever you might be up to, it just helps to really warm down the body, but also really lengthen through all the muscles, which ultimately helps the joints and prevents the strain of ligaments with building up too strong and tight muscles. So it allows that lengthening process. Okay, so as with ever, I just want you to come into comfortable Sukhasana. We're just going to connect in with the breath. So you just have yourself nice and comfortable with a straight back. Remember your Ujjayi breath, breathing nice and deeply in through the nose and out through the nose, just allowing the belly to expand on the inhale. On exhale, inhaling, and inhaling, and exhaling. Okay, just open your eyes. You might want to set an intention for today's practice. Okay, first of all, we're just going to come up to a standing position. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure you're a little bit warmed up. A really, really good way of quickly warming up. Obviously some salutations are the best, but if you've got a bit short of time, you want to get straight into a yin practice, and you have already done quite a warm up with exercise anyway, this is another one just to keep it up, the momentum up, okay? This is called the yogic shuffle. Alright, I like to think it's a little bit like the paddy bar, so if you're from Scotland you might know how to do paddy bar, you can do that if you wish. It's effectively just lifting the arms up, okay, and then you're just going to jump very gently on the balls of your feet, okay? Now if you want to bring any Scottish paddy bar into that, then go for it, If you're doing this at home, who's watching? I quite like bringing this in, because it does feel a little bit like, if I had the swords down there and a kilt on. Or you could bring a bit of Celtic Michael Flatley into it if you like. You can bring your hands down to the side. Anything goes really. Whatever you feel good at. Or you can just jump from side to side. The key is though to keep moving. Keep your hands up. It's great for lymphatic drainage, and that actually is quite an effort to keep arms up in the air. Okay, so just going to go in for a few more breaths. I'm sure you can agree. It does actually build a little bit of momentum and a bit of puff. Okay, ready? 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Whew, that's good, isn't it? Okay, so we're just going to take some nice stretches in the side. So bring your feet together into Samasthiti or Tadasana, mountain pose. I'm going to take the arms up. I want you to take the right hand and grab the left wrist, okay? And then you're going to just slowly engage the knees, the legs, the core, and you're just going to bring yourself over to the right. So it's like a banana asana, which we'll do later. Breathe in. Try and keep the hips square here. Okay, don't be tempted to kick out too much with the left hip whilst you're standing. You're just lengthening through that left side. And then inhale, come back to centre, change over, left hand onto the right wrist, and exhale down to the side. Gosh, that yogic thing. Oh, I'm a bit out of breath actually. It's good. Okay, just keep breathing. Nice and steady. And back up to centre. Okay, bring the hands down. I want you to bend the knees and then bring the hands back up. Straighten the legs as you bring the hands back up. And then as you come down, bend them again. You can stick your bottom out deeply if you wish. All the way up. Just keep the knees together. So you can feel that nice stretch in the calves. Coming all the way round. Deep up. All the way. And one more. All the way up. Now keep the legs together. I'm going to have you coming all the way down, swan dive, all the way down to Uttanasana, our front forward fold. Now don't worry if your hamstrings are squealing at the moment. You can take a little bend in the knee, okay? If you need to do this, a little bend in the knee is okay, and then just slowly work up to strengthening, lengthening in the hamstrings, okay? And again, please don't worry if you're only here, okay? The more you practice this asana, you will in no time at all be right down to the floor, okay? Even though you think your hamstrings will never get you there, if you just gently persevere with front forward fold, or if you're sitting down to Paschimottanasana, same position, you will be able to get to the point where you have head all the way into the knees, okay? So just hang here, surrender into the breath, allow yourself to pause, just take some pause here. Till you can start to feel a little tingling in the feet. Okay, then I just want you to come up and bend the knees and slowly come down into a balance here on the balls of the feet. Now you can try and bring your knees a little bit further down towards the floor here, so you want to straighten up the back, okay? Again, you want to try and keep the feet steady, and notice how hard you have to work your toes in order to keep that balance. Steady. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Come down to seated. Okay. Right. So I'd like you first of all to bring your feet ahead of you so they're hip width apart, okay? And I just want you to allow the legs to fall down to the side. You might want to put your hands back just to steady yourself, okay? Inhale and back up to centre, and then again over to the left. We're just warming up the lower back here. Coming up and over to the right. Coming back up again. Some people can do this without putting the hands down, but just take it easy. Do what feels right for you. This is a restorative class, so we are taking it really nice and easy. So when you're doing this, you can perhaps give a nice little massage on the buttocks, which if you've got quite tight glutes, or you've been doing quite a lot of exercise, it's quite nice. It's a nice little massage for the glutes. Okay, right, coming back to centre. Right, coming forward now. Bring the feet together. I'm going to come down into Paschimottanasana. So coming down with a nice straight back is always key here. And again, don't worry if you're only here. You just come down as deep as you feel you can. Keep the toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Okay. Just take it easy. Just allow the whole, that connective tissue running all the way from your toes to the top of your head, just to slowly elongate. And slowly come back up again. Alright, so now I want you to come in, to just take the left leg out, like so, and the right leg like that. So you're still sitting, mostly on that right sitting bone. You just want to take that left knee back as far as you can, okay? But just be aware that if you've been doing quite a lot of exercise, you need to be gentle on that knee, okay? So you're just coming in to extended deer pose. So I want you to turn the body around so that your tummy is facing that right knee. Now you can put a cushion here if you like, just to make it a little bit more comfortable. Take a deep breath in, and I want you to bring yourself down, just as deeply as you can, all the way down to the floor. Now if you want, you can take that left knee out a little bit deeper, a little bit further away, and really feel like a nice stretch. So this is quite a nice one. It's a bit like pigeon, but you wouldn't be sitting on your buttock like this in pigeon. You wouldn't be. Pigeon's slightly different, but if you want to open up the right hip, it's quite a good one to practice. Okay, so you're just coming down, gently resting. So your hips are still, your tummy is still square, the pelvis is still square ahead of you here, in the direction of that right knee, okay? Just breathe. Just notice the sensations in your body, whether you're feeling hot or clammy, or just the little feelings that run through your legs as your body slowly expands. And it's quite nice to start with a bit of yogic jumping there, because the contrast between the high energy and then coming into something really slow and still is actually quite nice, because it's more profound. You can really feel your mind going into a stillness now as you hold this posture. Remember, just hold the posture as long as is comfortable. You may come out at any time, but just remember, if you hold the posture for long, you need to come out really, really slowly so that you don't jerk your body in any way. Okay, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly come back up again. Bring that left knee in. Okay. Now I want you to take your feet together, soles together in front of you, about 1.5 feet away from the body. Okay, and I'll take a nice deep breath in, and we'll come forward, and again we'll just stay here in a nice butterfly pose. So just again notice the contrast between your right hip and your left hip. And just allow yourself to relax into this posture. Hold for another 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly come back up. So you can really feel that starting to have a wonderful impact on the lower back there, that posture. So it's always a good one to do. It's a great hip opener as well. Okay, so then we're going to bring ourselves back and do the other side. So that right leg comes back like so. The left leg is bent like that. Extended deer. And then of course we're sitting up. We're bringing the tummy round to face that left knee. And as we exhale, we're going to come down on that left knee. Again, you can have a cushion or you can do without. And then if you want to take that right knee back a little bit further, that's fine as well. And again, just allow your body to come down gently onto that left knee. Just keep breathing that nice ujjayi breath. Just finding the stillness in the breath and that moment between the inhale and the exhale. Just notice those sensations. And then we're going to slowly inhale, bring ourselves back up again. Bring that right leg round, and this time we're going to bring the feet together close up to the body. Take the hands round the feet, and we're going to just slowly allow the legs gently to start coming down. Don't worry again if your legs are way up here, that's not a problem at all. And if you need to put a block or anything underneath here, just so that you can actually just allow the legs to rest on something, then that's also good. You might be able to hold the posture for longer as well. And certainly in restorative, if you're, had any hip issues or whatever, you could sit like that in a very supported posture. You can also do it lying back as well, supported. So lots of different ways that you can do asanas in a more recuperative manner with supports and blocks and blankets and things. But for now, we're just going to hold steady. So you're clasping your hands around your feet, and then you're trying to bring the chest up. So you'll notice that when you do that, the shoulders then come down, so that there's a nice stretch along the trapezius, the back of the neck and into the shoulders. So if you're lengthening through the back, you will feel that sensation. And then just, again, if you're keeping that pelvic floor engaged, you're just trying to allow the legs, the weight of the legs, to open up the hips gently. Don't worry if you can't get your knees down. Eventually through practice you will. My legs are not down, so I haven't practiced this posture very much lately. But generally speaking, they will open up. But don't worry if they don't. It's more about the sensation you feel in here. Okay? You don't want anything to force anything. If it's going to come, it will come. Okay, so taking a nice deep breath in. Okay, and then I'm going to slowly bring the legs back up again. Okay, now we're going to do another position which is quite tricky. It's log pose, okay? So we're going to bring the shins so it's in line with the edge of your mat here, okay? And we're going to slowly bring the right leg up again. So we're kind of stacking your legs like two logs on top of each other. Okay, again, this is a very, very strong position, so you don't want to sit here for too long if you're uncomfortable, but do try and just surrender. It doesn't look a very difficult posture, but it actually can feel quite intense. So just take it easy and breathe. Just breathe. Just notice the sensations. going to slowly just bring this foot down. Okay, now we're going to take it all the way over to the right. We're going to bring the left foot in here. Alright, and we're going to just take a nice side stretch. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and then we're going to exhale all the way to the right. Okay, and again, don't worry if your arm's somewhere here. If you're tight here, you might find it a bit tricky. If you have a tight shoulder, then you might find it hard to bring it all the way around as well. So just take it easy and do what you can. So ultimately you're trying to bring your tummy up towards the ceiling, alright? So you're bringing it round as you're coming into the side stretch. Just breathing through. Two, three, 4, and 5. Inhale. So we're not really holding these yin postures for too long, but remember with yin postures you can hold them for a long time, usually speaking. But again, you just have to go with how your body feels. Okay, let's bring log pose in the other side. So you want your right shin in line with the edge of your mat, and then you're just gently bringing that left leg in and stacking it on top of the other leg like a log, otherwise known as log pose. And again, you're just going to hold that sensation here. Lift up in the spine, soften the shoulders, and sink into posture. I'm going to slowly take that left leg off, take it all the way out to the side there, bring the right leg in. And then we're going to do this side stretch this time, so exhale down to the other side. This is not my best side, as you can probably tell. So again, just breathe, take it nice and easy, don't worry if your hand's up here, just come as far as you can. Just breathe and surrender. Okay, and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly come back up again. Well done. Alright. Okay, again we're just going to come and finish off, even off with a nice forward fold here. Now, you can do this with a nice straight back, which is Paschimottanasana, which is traditional yoga. Or you can do what's called crocodile pose, which is more yin. Okay, this is where, so normally I come down with a straight back, or you can just roll, so a bit like your angry cat pose in your cat and cow. You can just do this with a little bit more of a roundness in the back, and just let the head hang here. In Paschimottanasana you would come down with your tummy onto your thighs and your back straight, and you would be, rather than taking your head all the way down, you're just gently looking up towards the toes. This one is more rounded. play around with it really if you like. Do one and then the other. Okay, I prefer Paschimottanasana, that has to be said, because I always like to keep my back straight in everything there, okay? Right, okay, I want to do a Sphinx position now, that's right, we'll get something on the back going. So let's come onto our tummies, because you're needing a little bit of a back bend, I feel. So if you come down onto your back, I'm hoping you can see this okay, I'm not sure if I've positioned this mat a little bit further away. Anyway, okay, so you know what you're doing with Sphinx anyway, so we're just going to just gently allow ourselves to hold this position. So you want to lift up in the chest, keep the head looking upwards, and just breathing really nicely. Ujjayi breath, filling that body with life-giving oxygen. You can swing your hips from side to side if they're a little bit tight if you wish. Just allow everything to loosen off. But just be aware of the sensations in your back. Okay, now I want you to lift that right leg up, okay? And I want you to take the right hand round. Now I want you to bring the foot towards the bottom. Oh, I've got really tight quads today. I was doing some severe exercise this week. So I can really feel it in my quads. Okay, but again, you might not be able to do that. Just go to the level you're comfortable with. You're just wanting to steadily just lengthen through the quads. It's a nice shoulder opener as well when you hold your foot like this. Kind of allows for a lift in that whole ball socket of your shoulder. So just hold for as long as you can. Allow that nice stretch through. Just breathing. Okay, and then slowly release. And do the same the other side. So left leg, and then again bring the left arm up, bring that that heel down towards your bottom, and again just feel that nice stretch through the quad and opening up that left shoulder joint. Breathing through. Again, just keep that breath going steadily. And release. Okay, now that leg comes down, you're going to take the hands under the shoulders, you're going to come up into Cobra. Just going to hold Cobra. Breathe through, feel that nice lengthening through the front of the body with the contrasting flexion in the back. Keep the elbows close into the body. If you want to come all the way up into upward dog, you can do. Depends how your back feels. Or you can keep it in Cobra or in Sphinx as well if you're really struggling again. Sphinx is a great posture, particularly if you want to hold, get your back sorted for holding Sphinx for a good 3 minutes would be excellent, as long as you're very careful to come out into child's pose afterwards and slowly. Okay, we're going to take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to slowly come up onto our knees, and we're going to come back into child's pose. Now you can either have your knees together, or you can have your knees the width of the mat if you want to come down a bit deeper. Bringing the forehead down, you can take the arms around the side and just enjoy that counter pose for the back. Let's take some nice deep breaths in here. And then come forward. Okay, now we're going to come forward again. Now for those who'd like a little bit of a deeper back bend, we're going to come and do Dhanurasana, which is the bow. Okay, now for those who would rather not do that today and want more gentle practice, then I suggest you just come back into your Sphinx or just come back into a Cobra again, just to kind of try and keep the back moving. Alright, for those who like to come into Dhanurasana, you're grabbing your feet first of all, you move down your legs the deeper you want to take this, but obviously that's dictated very much by your back, and remember to be aware of your knees. So we're lifting up and holding that position. Breathe through the tummy, obviously into the tummy, allow it to expand. We're not going to hold for too long, just taking it easy, lifting up steady. Breathing. Just going to hold for another 10 breaths if you can, come down slowly if not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Slowly come down. Well done. Take it really easy here. Hands under the shoulders. And when you feel ready, you can slowly come back up and push back gently into child's pose again once more. And just breathe. Okay, slowly come back up. Whew. While we're here, we'll just come back and do a little balance on the tops of our feet. Remember, you can just take your hands back if you need. If it's too much for your tops of your feet, you can just modify by gently moving your weight back onto the heels. And lifting one leg at a time, okay? But otherwise, when the tops of your feet become open, you can balance quite nicely in this position. And it's just good for your overall foot health and ankle strength as well. Just hold this position, just for as long as you can. And breathe. Good. And we're going to come back down again. Okay, what I'd like to do is I would just like to come and do another forward fold, especially if you had done Dhanurasana there, bow position. It's a deep back bend, so it's always good to do a deeper forward fold afterwards. So just come back into your forward folding again. Okay. Good. Coming back up. Right, okay, I want you to come back onto your backs, okay? Now, we're going to come into a position called Banana Asana. appropriately named asana because you're turning your body to look like a banana. So you're going to take their feet to the right, maybe about a foot in distance, or as far as you can, okay, keeping the bottom where it is on the floor. And then you're going to take the arms up as well. So you're going to make the left hand going to grab the right wrist, just like you were doing with the standing position at the start of the practice. And you're just bringing your whole body around and make it into a nice crescent moon shape, banana shape. And I just want you to hold and breathe. Just feel that sensation of opening up the left side of the body. If you feel more comfortable, you can have your arms by your side, but you get a nice full sort of opening of the shoulders when you bring your arms up over your head. So we're just making a banana shape to the right. I'm just going to hold here and breathe. This is actually a really nice one for your digestion, you'll find. Your tummy might start to rumble here. Just allowing the whole digestive system to have a good stretch out and open up. Just hold here steady for a few more breaths. Okay, out of 3, 4, and 5. Just release the hands first of all. Bring the legs back to neutral, okay? Now before we do the other side, I just want you to hold yourself in this neutral position. And then we're going to bring ourselves up into shoulder stand. Now for some of you, if you want just a gentle practice, you can just come up and just put your feet up in a nice sort of L shape. This is perfectly satisfactory to allow for a lymphatic drainage from the feet down, back in, and recirculation. But for those of you who would like to come up, you could roll all the way up onto the shoulder girdle. Okay? Keeping your neck very, very still. Don't be moving your neck. Keep it nice and steady. And just try and come up as close up on top of the neck there and your shoulder girdle as you can. Keep your legs nice and straight. Breathing for 15 breaths if you can would be great. Support your back, of course, with your hands. So it's difficult to try not to look at me in the screen here. So if you want to go back and just rewind and just show, I'll show you, watch me going up before you do this, and that would be recommended. But I think many of you already know how to do shoulder stand. Okay, I'm going to say that's 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, we're going to bring our feet over our head. Now, you might want to bend the knees first to do that, or if you want, you can. If you've got the hip flexor strength, you can bring the legs all the way around to the floor, and you want to bring that bottom up so that you have a nice straight line from the shoulder girdle up. Okay, now if you have your feet to the floor and you can bring yourself forward, you can take your hands away if you wish, but otherwise if you don't feel you've got that positioning quite right yet, keep your hands supporting your back, okay? Just try and hold for as long as you can. Not everyone finds this posture comfortable. Just for 2 breaths, another 2 breaths, 1 and 2. Now we're going to slowly roll ourselves back there. We're not going to do full closing sequence, we're just rolling ourselves back to neutral. Well done. Bring yourself back into a supine position. And just allow for that blood rush back into the neck and shoulders. Oh, I love that. I love that feeling of just having a good stretch out. Alright, so then we're going to finish with banana asana from the other side. Take the legs to the left, bring your chest and shoulders round to the left, and you want to grab your left wrist with the right hand, and just lie back and enjoy this nice side stretch. Just breathe deeply. It's a great waist whittler away, this one. And it just opens up all those cells and the lovely love handles that we have, and which releases any stuck energy and stuck toxins and whatnot in all the cells there. Breathe into the area. And just notice the sensations and how the tightness in that whole area releases itself as you relax and surrender into the posture. Okay, just relax for a few more minutes. No, not a few more minutes. Well, you can do, of course, you stay in this position as long as you like. You can always put me on pause, it's no problem. Or just a few more breaths. Just fully surrender. Okay. And then you should bring yourself back to neutral position first of all. Take the hands down, bring the knees to the chest, and we're just going to roll from side to side here. Okay, and then we're going to just grab the toes here, we're going to roll up gently to a seated position. I'm going to finish the class, and then I'm going to strongly encourage that you lie back down again and give yourself a decent shavasana. Get yourself a blanket, a cushion, whatever you need. You might even just want to go to bed, in which case you can lie down for a good little while. Just try and, when you're lying in your bed, when you're relaxing the body, just try and be aware still. So you might fall asleep, that's fine. The body needs sleep, but if you can try and be aware even for 10 minutes of the total relaxation of your body while still being aware before sleep overcomes, then that's fantastic. It's a really good way of stilling the mind entirely as well before going into dream state. Alright, so we're just going to finish here, taking a nice deep breath. Bring the hands into prayer position. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you everybody. Well done. See you next time.